You know, we really weren't expecting to have another city update video by the end of the year, but we ended up getting some parts in, so we actually have some updates for you. Let's dive into the last city update of 2023. All right, guys, so we hope that you enjoyed that recap of the year. Obviously, there's been a lot of progress made in the city, including our brand new LA layout. So since the last video, we actually have a brand new build, and that is the new In-N-Out. We're super excited to add this to the city because obviously we couldn't have a downtown LA build or a Santa Monica build without having In-N-Out included. And we're really pumped with the way it came out. It is a little bit smaller than the one that we have on our website. We had to kind of customize it to fit this corner right here. But it fits perfectly, and honestly, it adds some difference to the skyline. It creates a little bit of a different height in this area, and for that we really like how it turned out. On the back side is the start of the drive-through, and as you can see, we had to modify the streets to create little curb cuts for In-N-Out, and then we have the cones out with a little guy taking orders, just as you'd find in real life. You then go through the tunnel to the pay window and the food pickup window. And then on the other side, the vehicles pop out, and they could just easily take a right, and it would then take them to the freeway. In real life, in more urban areas, In-N-Out does have some smaller locations, so this is kind of what that's modeled after. And then we even have the crossing palm trees in front, which is a signature of In-N-Out's at their various locations. So really happy with how that turned out. We're still waiting on some parts for those corner dark tan parts on the roof. right here that you can see they're kind of missing still, but the rest of it is pretty much finished. We even built out the inside. The entire roof lifts off, which is super cool. Now, also in the last video, we showed you guys the brand new Santa Monica Tower with Skyloft right there. So this is kind of completing the skyline. Down in this area is going to be, once we get parts, some new buildings that'll be similar to what you see in Santa Monica with kind of the mid height of the buildings that they have out there. And then we're still waiting on parts to finish the road. There's a lot of road work that needs to happen down here as well as down here. So we're kind of waiting to finish that all at once. And then obviously we got to finish the bike path and the sidewalk over here, and then eventually the beach out in front. But this was a fun week because we also worked on street signs. So we have a bunch of new street signs, if I can get it to focus, there we go. Including new freeway signs that take you to the freeway. And we also have freeway signs included on the traffic signals themselves with, no bike sign as well. Then on the freeway itself, we also have new signage that shows you're headed towards downtown LA, which obviously will take you to the downtown core once we get a little further with that. You may have also noticed that we have some new police vehicles. Unfortunately, the parts for the wheels didn't come in on time. There was like a Bricklink order that got delayed. So they're just sitting there, but we are going to work on a new fleet of police vehicles, both of the classic older style and a more modern build for the LAPD. Because obviously our old police vehicles, which are still in the bin over here, is the wrong look for what we're doing with this downtown. Speaking of downtown, so that is still a work in progress, still a lot of work to do back there. We're still waiting on parts for the Wilshire Grand, but as you can see, it'll kind of run straight down to Santa Monica and back. And we're really happy with how it's coming out. We actually already started working on our next skyscraper build, and it's actually a twin tower of Los Angeles. So it's really gonna be 2 buildings, and we are finalizing the design for it, but really happy with how it's coming out. I think it's gonna add some good contrast to the city, so it's gonna be really cool. And then we also started adding some vehicles to the freeway and added some more brick to finish the lines of the freeway. Obviously still waiting on more to come through, but it's starting to all come together, except for the end down here. There's gonna be an overpass built with probably a train station for the tram. So that's kind of what we're working on down there. That's why it's not finalized yet. Obviously the freeway has been a lot of work. If you've seen in our previous videos, there's just a ton of stuff that goes into it. There's a textured wall on the back, and then on top of that you have 4 lanes of traffic, 2 on each side, and it's using a lot of bricks. We have to keep ordering brick. Luckily the pick-a-brick walls right now have a pretty good amount of stuff that we actually use for this. So we've gotten lucky, but anything that's not on pick-a-brick right now, unfortunately we have to order on Bricklink. But in the new year, we're really looking forward to getting these skyscrapers finished, at least a few of them for the core downtown LA area. We do still have a work in progress version of the US Bank Tower. We're trying to figure out, there's a lot of like weird curves and angles for that one. So we're trying to figure out the best approach for it. But once we land on something, we'll definitely show you guys. And then we're also hopefully going to build that mountain back there with the Hollywood sign, still TBD, and then work on cleaning up this side, as well as add the gas station back. But the city as a whole is really starting to come together. Loving the freeway signage and everything else that's going in. And we're just really happy with how it's starting to come together. Obviously, there's a lot of open land for new builds, which means next year is just going to be a ton of fun, and can't wait to share it all with you guys. So anyway, that's it for this week's and this year's final update. It's been a blast putting this all together, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the ride. We have a ton of new stuff planned for next year. Honestly, we just wait for parts to come in and then show you guys. So can't wait to share it with you guys, but hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we will see you in 2024.